The next item on our agenda is public comment. Is there any public comment? And we, let's see, I guess we limit it to
3 minutes.
3 minutes? Oh, Jessica's getting the timer ready. Timer's
Lucky
ready.
at 4.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Jill Booth, Homer Township. Counting every legal vote is the law. I've been reviewing election data and processes for the last 4 years. Since July, I've submitted 27 record challenges to the county to remove approved and deceased registrants with dates of death from 2005 to 2024. 23 of those records are now removed. I also assembled a team to canvass homes of voters who've moved out of state, and we submitted 6 affidavits to the city with evidence from the National Change of Address database. Last month, when I asked about them, I was told they weren't valid and our help wasn't needed. I questioned this in an email citing MCL 168.512 with no reply. This law allows challenges and requires a 30-day record update. 5 of the 6 registrations are now in challenge or verify status. We've submitted a letter to both clerk offices offering a process to comply with HAVA law requiring only citizens vote. I was told by the city only state guidance is followed, and the county said they would review and discuss it at a statewide clerk conference. Our Secretary of State has been sued successfully, many times over election law violations. Recent RNC cases address Detroit ensuring the equal number of Republican and Democrat poll workers, the Michigan UOCAVA guidance allowing overseas citizens who've never lived here to illegally vote, the guidance to process ballots with missing stub numbers, and the guidance for clerks to presume instead of verify absentee ballot signatures. Our QVF data currently shows 7,188 absentee ballots were sent, 6,260 records show voted. Could voted mean ballot returned? 45 absentee ballots were in fact sent to challenge and verify status registrants. 1 record shows voted. Of 229 UOCAVA registrants, 202 ballots were sent and 54 show voted, and no current tie to a Michigan address is required. Questioning data integrity, excuse me, I have to breathe, isn't a reflection of the clerk's hard work, and it's disingenuous to imply community involvement comes from ignorance or malice. If there was more transparency, such as granting the FOIA request for a 2020 cast vote records file, there would be more public trust in elections. Please consider Commissioner Smith's suggestion last week for public awareness sessions and consider publicizing and videotaping all meetings to increase transparency, understanding, and engagement. Thank you. I've left you all with a packet with some of these, some of this that I put this together with. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Joe. Any other public comments?
Good morning. Renita Bonadies, Homer Township. I spoke 2 weeks ago about the voter registration data. I used the April 2023 census data and the September qualified voter file from the Secretary of State's office. As for the QVF data, the public can only get this information from a Freedom of Information Act request, and that data is produced on the 1st of each month, so my numbers will always be a bit off from what the county clerk has access to in real time. I have the October qualified voter file from the Michigan Secretary of State, and am referencing the July 2023 U.S. Census data. In last week's executive meeting, the fact that 16 to 17 and a half-year-olds can be registered and in the QVF was mentioned by the clerk 3 times to justify high registration numbers. What was not mentioned is the fact that there are 0 registered voters in the qualified voter file that fall in this category. In fact, there are 0 16 to 17 and a half-year-olds in the entire 8.4 million registered voters in the state of Michigan, as they are not qualified to vote, so they should not be. They are pre-registered. There was also mention of the military and overseas voters. In the October QVF, there are 229 UOCAVA voters, as they're called. 26 are military and 203 are non-military overseas voters. Here are the numbers from the data files I've analyzed. Population estimate is 84,039 in the Midland County. Persons under 18 years is 20.8%. The qualified voter file I have for this Midland County has 71,842 records as of October 1st. 3,101 are in the verified status and 3,954 in the challenge status, leaving the active registered voters at 64,787. Just a cursory calculation of the census data would say that only 79.2% of all residents are voting age, therefore 66,559. I will note that absentee ballots have been sent to some of the verified and challenge status voters. Looking only at the 64,787 with an active voter status, we are at a 97.3% registration rate of voting age adults in Midland County. The national average is about 70% of voting age adults being registered. This is the point I was making about the very high registration rate and being concerned about the integrity of the voter rolls. Thank you. And you also have information on your desk.
Thank you. Any further public comment?